They didn't want me to pray with the kids, and I said, you know, that's fine. They're your rules, but I'm not going to give up, you know, my beliefs just because it made somebody feel uncomfortable. So I agreed that I would just do it by myself on the 50 alone, the way it first started out.
Former high school football coach Joe Kennedy says he was compelled by faith to kneel in prayer at the end of his games, but the move cost him his job. You'll remember back in 2015, now 3 years later, his legal battle continues, but with a fresh show of support from one of the most legendary names in football. Former FSU coach Bobby Bowden is supporting Kennedy's petition to get his case to the Supreme Court, saying, quote, no coach in this country should have to set down their faith when they pick up their whistle. Joining me now exclusively in their first interview together, former head coach at Florida State University Bobby Bowden and Coach Joe Kennedy, along with his lawyer Jeremy Dyes, who is Deputy General Counsel at First Liberty. All right, so first of all, coaches, this is the first time you guys have gotten together. This is a special moment, I'm sure, for both of you. Coach Bowden, to you first, why did you get involved?
I'm proud of him. I'm proud of him for standing up for what he believes, and I'm proud of him for putting God first. You know, hey, I don't know how I didn't get fired, because I prayed all the time when I was at Florida State. And I can imagine if he had 30 boys there, 40 boys, 50 or 10, I bet every one of them were proud of what he was doing.
Coach Kennedy, how's your fight going? I mean, 3 years out now from when you lost your job. Where do you wish to see this go?
Well, eventually, I'd love to be able to, you know, strap on a whistle and be back out there with my football players. But just to get in front of the Supreme Court and have them hear my case, that'd be a blessing there. What
did you think when Coach Bowden called up and said, "I want to be in your corner"?
Real shocking. I'm just a high school football coach, you know, a little two-way school, and here's this, you know, idol of football, you know, coming to my side. It's totally unbelievable and a blessing.
Coach Bowden, what does this say to you about, and go ahead, and I just want you to jump in here, because it's neat to have the both of you together here for the first time. And Coach Bowden, just your thoughts as you see the state of athletics, the state of football today, and the fact that Coach Kennedy lost his job.
Well, it reminds me of when I started coaching, but you know, I felt like when I started coaching that God had given me an opportunity to witness to these young men I'm coaching. You know, the last 10, 11 years that I coached, there would be 60% or more of my players who came from a broken home, and no father, no daddy, around. Now, who's gonna teach these kids if teachers and coaches and even politicians don't use their, you know, what the opportunity that they have to help get these people, to pray for these people and help these people? You know what? I agree 100% with what he was doing. I did the same thing. My goodness, I'm glad that. I thank Florida State, and I thank West Virginia University, and I thank Samford University and South Georgia College for not firing me, because I did what you did all the time.
You know, there's a lot of bad influences out there, and when you're raising kids, and you see a coach like Coach Kennedy, who was praying on the field and got fired for it. You know, Coach Kennedy, have you gotten response from other coaches around the country taking your back?
Yes, and not as publicly, because I think they want to hold on to their jobs and they're waiting to see what's going to happen. But a lot of them have reached out and, you know, call me up in Facebook or whatnot and say, you know, hey, we got your back, coach. We do it every time at our games. So they're all waiting to see what's going to be the end result for this. So, yes, I've had great support.
Coach Bowden, why was it so important for you to have God and prayer part of your football games and part of your athletes' everyday life when they showed up for practice or showed up for a game?
You know, it's the way I was raised, the environment in which I was raised. You know, I coached 57 years. So I have boys that I coached 50 years ago, 40 years ago, 30 years ago. And every now and then I'll get a letter from one of them. None of them mention football. They mention, Coach, thank you for what you told us. I'm married now. My children are going to college, and
Yeah.
they're good children, and I've been very lucky. You know, that's what's important in life. You know, and I hate to see Washington take that away.
Coach Kennedy,
Hey, I'm gonna get him down. I'm gonna get him down here in Florida.
I've only got a few seconds left, and it is great to talk to both of you. And I know you've got your lawyer there, Coach Kennedy, but your final word to Coach Bowden is he's now in your corner, and he's taking on this fight with you. A few seconds left.
Hey, it's an honor, and I'd love to take a knee with you on any field, sir. Thank you.
It's an honor to have you both on tonight. Thank you very much. All right, we've got more.